And in our time in ministry context, Nick, professionally, and just in friend groups, my conviction is that uh, the exit of so many of my peers from the Christian faith was not to nothing. They didn't leave
Right.
because they were sick of Christianity and didn't want anything anymore, to be
Right.
ruled by anything. They went searching. And so many of my peers grew up in contexts where holiness was held up as the ultimate ideal, and but what they experienced was what Jesus talks about in Scripture, the whitewashed tomb
Yeah.
experience of Christianity, right? Which is kind of the image of holiness, do all the right things from a religious standpoint, but looked like deep depravity or brokenness in the wholeness dimension of our life. And so, what I've seen so many of my peers or friends or dear friends do is to leave Christianity in search for wholeness. And they go to things like Eastern religions, yoga, magic mushrooms, having hallucinogenic trips, getting really into health and wellness,
Right.
really attempting to perfect their routines, the way that they live their lives, thinking deeply about their relationships, trying to find synergy and connection relationships because 50% of them grew up in families of divorce and didn't want to repeat that cycle,
Hmm.
experienced brokenness, or if a marriage stayed together, real disconnection and disunity that didn't feel well or whole to them. So they've gone searching for that answer to wholeness, which I think is clearly written here in his commentary.
Yeah.
Uh, and ultimately, my personal conviction is that you can't have one without the other.
Right.
That wholeness and holiness are fit together, and we can only find them rather through the divine life and relationship with the Creator, who created us for the expression and the experience of wholeness and holiness together. And I think because of the lack of holiness is how you get the whitewashed tomb version of holiness, where it's do all the right Christian things, be a good little Christian boy, don't sin, don't mess up, don't make mistakes. Uh, it, you know, but there is then also sort of the cajoling, like uh, you know, uh, just an example, like, as Catholics, when we feast, we really feast, and when we fast, we cheat. Well, what is, what is that? Like, that's not holiness, right? But it's also very much not wholeness.
Yeah.
It's not serving our body, our spirit, and our brain's ability to put itself back together when we cheat in fasting, for example. And so, uh, yeah, I just think there is something far more global than this one particular example that's happening here,
Yeah.
of a world searching to be able to, especially the Christian world, searching for wholeness again. That's connected to generations and history and the ebb and flow of humanity as sort of the pendulum swings back and forth. And I think in this swing, we're experiencing this great searching for
Yeah.
wholeness.